I'm recording this in my utility room today for two reasons. One, because Mrs. Sheepdog's watching the European Athletics finals and it's just too noisy, and she wants to watch the 4x4 relay final or something before it all finishes tonight. She's excited. It's good. It's exciting. She's really into athletics, but I was putting it off, thinking I'll do it after. But it's like 9:30 now, and by the time I edit and get it up, it's just going to be gone. But yeah, I thought I'd do a video today about how, it kind of ties into what I just said, I suppose. I've always been a little bit impatient when I've wanted something, I wanted to do something, and I've learned today that Lambpup is cursed with the exact same personality defect, I want to say, trait, I suppose, is probably a kinder word to put on it. Ever since I was a kid, I've always had the knack of being so excited by the potential of something that I've just sometimes had the habit of ruining it so that I never actually get to enjoy the beauty of it. I mean, I've mentioned this little bit before of, I remember being probably 4 or 5 and being so excited my mum was making jelly that I wanted to see whether it had set, and I grabbed it and pulled it everywhere, and I did that 3 or 4 times growing up, to the point where my parents were putting it in higher places and I was just climbing higher and higher to see if it was set, and I used to wreck it constantly. I never did that sort of thing, just that sort of thing with food. I remember getting so excited that I'd got a new graphics card for my dad's PC that I tried to install it myself and ended up breaking the computer. I then broke my own computer by taking the CPU out because I was excited about something else I was working on. Like, that's something that plagued me right into my 20s, just trying to repair something because I thought, I can do it. I'm not going to wait for somebody else, I'm going to do it myself. But Lambpup has really ruined herself today, not on anything major, but just something I mentioned in yesterday's video that she was very excited. She got a crystal making set from America when we were there. She'd spent I don't know, $12 on it. It's nothing major, but she was so excited to the point where she'd been talking to Bosco about how they were going to split the crystal up each way and whatever, and that her one was going to be ginormous and he could have the littler one, and this, that and the other. And they'd read the instructions, and in Lambpup's defence, Mrs. Sheepdog had said that it was, put it in the container, leave it for 24 hours and it'll be a crystal. But rather than just kind of letting us work on it with her and do it with her, we got home from the shops today and she just went out into the kitchen. She just picked up the container and she's just completed the crystal. Now, what she's ended up with is this, which doesn't come out. It's completely stuck in there. And she asked why. She said, Mrs. Sheepdog, mother, what's going on? Why has this not gone to plan? The kids in the box on this have this ginormous crystal. There's more crystal than house in this picture, and I've got a weird glass full of crystal. That's like a shot of crystal, So we looked at why, and it turns out, in Lambpup's defence, it was supposed to sit in the container for something like 8 to 12 days or something like that, maybe like 7 to 10, not barely 24 hours. In Lambpup's defence, I think also it's probably supposed to be in a wider container than that, but I think it did say on it, put it in a glass. But that would have been fine. If she'd have told us she was going to do it, we'd have gone and we'd have read the instructions to see how you got it out of the container before she threw away the entire crystal mix. Apparently, because I never actually saw this, it was full to the top of whatever mixture it was you put. I mean, I don't know why they put it in this glass, but you can see from the glass it's got crystal. It was full, pretty much, with crystal mix. And the idea was the crystal would grow out of the top of it, and I guess you could have probably twisted it and pulled it. We're at a point now where we're thinking, do we smash the glass? Do we chisel the crystal out with a spoon? I have no idea how I'm going to get crystal out of this glass. I quite like drinking out of it. I'm plagued with the problem of there's not many glasses that are the right size and shape and usefulness in this house. They always get ruined somehow, but this is the first one that's ever had a crystal grow out of it. The crystal's poisonous? Could I just continue to drink beer out of this, even though it's got a crystal at the bottom, and we could just pretend it's part of the design? But her impatience basically ruined her on that. Now, it's not just graphics cards and jelly that I've had problems with. I mean, this is almost the equivalent of a jelly, I suppose. She's not let the crystals set. I did it with everything. I mean, I remember begging my mum to let me get... I've said before, actually, every birthday for me was always just me too impatient to wait and see if there's anything I wanted. So I would go out, and one year I bought a left-handed Master System controller when I'm right-handed, and I had just got a Mega Drive, so I don't really know why I did that. Another birthday year, or it might have been just after my birthday, I went and got an exercise bike that I then couldn't wait for my dad to put together, so I put it together. It wasn't quite right, and then I just never used it. I think we used it a couple of times, and then it was just like a towel rack in my room for the next 6 or 7 years. I mean, I was going to say, like, maybe we need to say no to Lambpup more, and maybe my parents need to say no to me, but they definitely did. I think it was one of these things where they'd say no, and I'd spend the next 48 hours just asking them continuously until they went, right, you need to learn your own lessons. But I never learned the lesson because I'm stupid. Lambpup, bless her, isn't stupid. She's devastated that this didn't go right, and so I've promised her we'll sort it out. We'll get another set at some point. Part of me is in two minds whether she should pay for it or whether we should pay for it, because I didn't. Mrs. Sheepdog read the instructions and just didn't realise it said 10 days. I think she just read like day one prep or something. I don't know. It's not her fault, but I think there was more instructions to it. She didn't expect Lambpup to just go way down the sink with all the stuff. I'm actually worried there's going to be a crystal forming down our bleeding sink, because I've not read anything about that either. I'm hoping that's been running for a while, otherwise there could just be this weird report that a ginormous crystal has formed in the sewers underneath. I mean, what if it ends up like Superman's Fortress of Solitude and there's these gigantic shards everywhere? Part of the reason I also recorded late was because I've been asking my sister for ideas of stuff. I said to her, like, there must be loads of examples of when I just didn't listen. And we had this conversation of, yeah, I'm pretty sure there's billions of them, but there's so many that we can't see the wood through the trees. We talked about different examples. That's not really the same. You know, some of these were intentional. She was saying to me that I kind of bought... What did she bring up? She brought up the fact that rather than going to work out, I got a muscle toner electric set thing that I put on to try and get a six-pack when I was about 17, and that absolutely failed because I was too lazy to do the workout. But they were the trend at the time. It became a thing. Everyone in my class was getting them. Everyone was talking about them. You put them on your muscles. It was painful as hell, and I really, I probably used it 5 or 6 times. You put it on while playing a game or watching a film, and the idea was it would just electrocute you, and your muscles would tense and untense really quickly. And I did a lot more exercise and work then, but it didn't work. As you can see, I'm not Arnold Schwarzenegger, but she's right. My impatience was definitely the thing there, and it was one of those what shall I get with my birthday money things. So she's definitely right that I've just got this horrific habit of blowing it on tat, which is why I never know what to do, because like Kev always mocks me that I have a 12-month consultation period before I buy anything, but I think the lesson I've learned is that I don't want to jump in and buy something that I then regret, and so I spend ages looking at it and thinking about it before I do it. But I mean, this seems like something, this isn't the sort of thing I would have ever let her get, but we let her get it because she wanted something to remember. I don't even know really. I don't know the logic. She wanted to remember a NASA bite, but how does that remind her? She just wanted it because it was shiny and cool, I suppose. But it went wrong. So now I'm like, do we want another one? I don't know. Has anyone ever used these before? Do they get much better than that? Because this looks kind of, I don't know. I don't want to tilt it too much because I can see there's liquid in the bottom of it still, so it might come out of the glass eventually. Maybe we should turn it upside down so it just falls. I'm tapping it now in the hope that I can get a live dropping. Nah, it's not coming out. Right, I'm going to wrap this up because I can't... There will be more. I'll do a follow-up video when I think of 101 ideas because I know what's going to happen. I thought to myself... The irony is, I thought to myself, I've been thinking about this theme for hours now. I'm going to get the camera out and I'm going to do it. And then I'll probably ruin it for myself by not waiting to deliver the ideas. I haven't waited till my normal camera was ready. I've not waited till it was quiet. So I hope I haven't ruined the video. I hope you've enjoyed it, even though it's not a massive long list of reasons, but I'll do a follow-up one when I've suddenly got them, because I know it'll happen. I'll sit down and I'll think, oh yeah, there was this time, that time, the other time. I could probably get a whole series out of this, because I am the sort of moron who does just act impulsively. I'm worried this crystal's going to fall. I've left it upside down. I'm going to turn it back up. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you tomorrow.